Hey, AfterBuzzers. Kevin Undergaro, the executive producer of AfterBuzz, along with Maria Menounos.
Hi, everybody.
And Maria and I, as you know, have put so much time and money into the AfterBuzz TV product and really haven't seen a lot in return.
Nope, not yet.
But one of the ways you guys can actually help us is by tuning into our new reality show, Chasing Maria Menounos. It premieres Tuesday, March 18th, 10 o'clock, 9 p.m. Central, and features me and Maria basically bickering, fighting.
No, it's not just bickering and fighting. You get an inside look into my life, behind the scenes.
You'll also get a behind-the-scenes look at AfterBuzz and an inside look at how Maria does everything in her power to shut us down because she's very cheap.
That is so rude. Why would you say that?
Because it's true.
Oh, my God.
Well, anyway, guys, please tune in to Chasing Maria Menounos on Oxygen, Tuesday, March 18th at 10 p.m. We really do appreciate it. All of your support will help AfterBuzz because Maria certainly won't.
So rude.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race After Show.
Hit it. This is a classic for our Scream.
Kenny, don't you know the whole dance to Thriller?
I do.
Me too.
High five. South Carolina. Yeah.
Wait,
real high five.
wait, aren't you from South Carolina too?
We both are.
No, Steve is too.
North Carolina.
Oh,
I'm above them.
Oh, that was a good one. Welcome.
He's a top.
Hola. Hello. To AfterBuzz TV's RuPaul's Drag Race After Show. I'm your host, Kenny Harrison. Joining me on the panel next to me is the lovely
Leprechaun, aka Jacque Borowski.
Next to Jackie,
Cameron Marston.
Oh, we heard him that time. And finally on the end,
hello everyone. I'm Tony Moore.
there you have it. We're here to recap another exciting episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. This is episode 3.
Much better.
Scream Queens. And yeah.
Gasp.
It was a good one.
Gasp.
And you know what? I'm just going to say that there were a lot of surprises for me as far as mini challenge and main challenge.
Yeah.
And like a lot of queens that I didn't think were going to be would do
turn it
well.
out. Right.
They came and they showed off. So
I only had one surprise.
okay.
Gasp.
And
Oh,
Finish
my
the
one
thought?
my one surprise was I mean Jocelyn, for me, I know for some of you guys she wasn't under the radar, but she was a little under the radar. But now I see that she is funny, not Tammy funny.
Yeah. She's
But
her own.
she
And her
has
own.
her own brand of funny,
See-
and I think she's going to be really amusing.
I feel like I should clarify my Tammy comment.
Yes,
So I feel like
there was lots of
Jocelyn-
dissension about it.
Jocelyn reminds me of Tammy because Tammy is like her own like kooky, put her on planet Tammy, and like you are invited to her world. And I'm starting to see that in Jocelyn too. Like she has her own little quirky little things about her that just remind me of like Tammy and Yara.
Like you could put Jocelyn in a bubble in the corner in the workroom and she could be fine with nobody talking to her.
Yeah.
She'll be
She's
just
just
fine.
doing
Oh,
her
me
own
too.
thing.
Maybe that's why I like her.
See?
Okay.
Birds of a feather.
Before we jump into it, I want to welcome everyone. If you're watching us live, thank you. Call us. I have the number.
I tweeted the number.
Me too.
224-253-0405. So thank you for watching us. If you're watching us on YouTube, make a comment down below. We put Cam and Tony next to each other because apparently they have some
Sexual tension.
That was last year. People
there's
tried
some-
to act like we had sexual tension.
This year they're just chocolate comments.
Oh.
I don't get to be a part of any comments.
Come on, Jackie.
I'm wearing a hat for attention.
We all love you.
Bless your heart.
And iTunes. So download us on iTunes, make a comment on YouTube, and thanks for watching us now. So what do we think of the? Well, we already just mentioned what are our thoughts for the episode.
The whole episode?
Yeah,
The whole episode?
the entire episode.
Interesting.
I thought it was good. I thought this was a better episode so far.
I liked it because I love challenges where they have to do like I guess like a skit. I love skit challenges.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
Yeah, so this was, aside from the Snatch Game, which is my ultimate favorite, this was one of the ones that I like because it was a skit.
Right.
Well, I thought the mini challenge was interesting with the legs. Although
I had the same problem I had, I think it was it last year when they did the lips in the screen?
the lips, yeah.
I had the same thing where I was like, there's too many lips happening at once and I can't stare at one, and now I'm confused about who's what, blah, blah, blah. And so I just wish it was like one focus, another focus.
I actually liked the way they cut it, where they cut it into that you got like 3 at one time. It was pretty hilarious, and then they broke it down into like individuals.
UMTV generation.
Well, that and the fact that this is true, but I watched the show 3 times today, so I got a chance to today. I watched it this morning. I watched it this afternoon.
You all can apply to work.
Drag
with
in
him.
the morning, drag in the evening,
Exactly.
drag at supper time.
Exactly.
When
And
lipstick's
he's
on the
doing
table,
drag
you can have drag at any time.
3 times. So, yeah. So, who do you think was the funniest? I like the winners.
I thought that Laganja
Wait, in
and
which?
The mini challenge.
Oh.
I thought Laganja and Courtney were pretty funny.
They were funny.
I liked how, because Laganja's legs are everything. And so it was cute when, like, you know, her legs were and then they wrapped around Courtney and she just like laid there. I was like, oh my God, they're doing really good. And then when they said Milk and Adore, I was like, I must have missed something.
Well, no, I think Adore sold hers for me. She made it very funny, and
She
I
did.
think and Milk having the actual not being tucked. It was for me.
None of them were tucked.
Well, it was entertaining to see.
Well, Milk also has really long legs, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I liked both groups
You
that we
did.
were talking about. I liked both Courtney and Laganja, and I liked Adore and Milk. And then I did think...
And you're getting that from your notes, I see.
Of course.
Girl, I can't remember what I just said 2 seconds ago. I have to look down at the notes. If I don't have any freaking notes, I would just be on here drooling on myself. You don't want that. No one wants to hear or look at me drool on myself. Maybe you do.
Maybe they do.
He does.
Steve does. But aside from Steve, and my hat's falling off.
I
Just screw this.
apologize.
Are y'all shipping?
I apologize. We did not introduce
We're shipping.
Steve, our ship. What's the captain of the
Shipping.
ship?
Captain of the ship.
Yeah.
Captain.
Hi, Steven.
And we're shipping Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Jackie.
So
Quick shout out to Roya. Get better soon.
yeah.
Oh, no,
Thanks,
she's
Rob.
sick.
Yeah, she's not feeling
shaky.
well. I like the visual of De La Creme and Darian.
Oh,
Yes.
that was funny.
I
Yes.
actually like that visual.
Small
Yes.
person, huge legs.
Well, you know what the thing is too? She worked her legs, which is what I was
Yeah.
appreciating. I was like, that girl has a lot of weight to lift up, and she's lifting it and working it.
I was hoping that it wasn't the other way around. But it would have been just as
It would have been just as funny.
if it was the other way around.
Stunted little legs for big body.
Although
She wouldn't have been able to move her legs because she would have been smooshed.
smooshed,
Probably.
she would have been
Because they were
smooshed.
sitting on top of the other person.
Yeah.
Smushed or smooshed?
Smooshed.
She would have been smooshed.
Yes, smooshed.
Don't get smooshed.
So
I'm smooshed.
Adore and Milk won the mini challenge, and their task was to pick groups for the next challenge. Which, by the way,
Surprise.
I got clocked on my comment that I made last week about the 2 groups and how they should do groups. And what happened?
Liked it.
What
I
happened?
liked it.
They
They picked their own groups.
Just saying.
Okay,
On
well,
top of that, they did pick their own groups that
Yeah.
they had initially. So,
okay, well,
there you
okay.
go.
Let's look at this. First off, they're already introduced to each other.
Yes.
So when you don't know anything about the other group, how are you going to be like, well, I want you on my team, but I don't know how you are going to do.
My point was exactly how it went down. Was I like the fact of splitting into 2 big groups and you eliminate one, not
Yes.
2, not
No,
no
I
save a
agree.
whole press the button thing. But I didn't like the fact, before in the All Stars or whatever that
All-Stars.
season was, where they kicked
Two
both
of them off. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I like the idea of the team thing because it thins out the herd really quickly, so we can get some better drag.
Well, not only that,
For
is
me,
that
that's me,
every
just me.
season we had the first couple of challenges were groups anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean.
And I think they said it's somebody commented and said it's going to be the same type of scenario next week.
Yeah,
with the
next.
groups.
Yeah, well, not, to jump ahead, next week is musicals.
Oh.
It's gonna be a musical
I
challenge.
love
Oh,
musicals.
Shade the musical.
Yeah.
So clearly, the group thing is working to a certain extent because they're using it. So just saying.
Well, hopefully, as they get to know each other more, then the teams will start switching up.
Right.
I think it's also a time saver too, because when you have this many contestants, it's hard to do a challenge where it's just them in the challenge, because then it takes too much time for airtime. So when you get down to like 7 people, okay, you've got more time. But here it's like they're doing groups out of just time necessity partially, and I don't have any problem with it. It's interesting to see how
You got to shine through. You have to have your uniqueness, charisma, nerve, and talent.
Well, like Darian, she had the smallest part, and she didn't bicker about it or anything, and she just said, "I'm going to make it work," and she won because she made it work.
Which is exactly why I felt Vivacious should go home, just for the granted, whether it's editing or not, just the comment like, "Oh, wow, I want it to be no, go home."
It's the same thing.
Get out.
It's the same thing with what's her face, whose name I've already forgotten from last week, who I didn't like and who went home.
Magnolia.
Yeah, Magnolia.
Out
of my brain, gone. But her attitude was just like giving up before she even started. So, bye, girl. I already forgot you.
She's not my girl.
So,
Bye,
on that
Felicia.
note. So we have the 2 groups. They were given the scripts, and I guess Adore's her. Excuse me. Her strategy was to you play this part, you play this part, you play this part. Whereas I think Milk kind of like was a little bit more
calculated
and diplomatic about it. Whereas
But I didn't think Adore was wrong for the parts that she gave. I didn't see anyone else in any other part.
in
I do think, though, once again, just like with Kenya Michaels, there was just there's a disconnect in what
range.
well there's a disconnect, a communication breakdown, I guess, as far as like what's expected of you. So April wanting to supposed to play the butch
Kenya
person.
Michaels.
Yeah, I kind of like the smell. Yeah, it was that all over again. That's what April did. She misinterpreted what the butchness was supposed to be.
I think for me, I think it might have helped the group as a whole if she would have like tried to like pick the parts that were appropriate for each other, as opposed to because basically the way I saw it.
Who would you put in the butch part?
I would in the butch part. I probably would have put Vivacious.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think that would have been a smart.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And I think I don't know if because I no, don't get me wrong. I don't think that Adore is not smart, but I'm not gonna give her credit to the fact that I think she might have done it to purposefully, like put somebody down or.
I don't think she did that.
That's what I'm saying.
I
So
think
I'm not
was
giving
just
her
random.
that credit.
Yeah.
And although she think she cast herself in the right part, and I think for everyone else, and maybe Gia.
Yeah.
But I think
Gia
for
was
everyone,
the best.
I think. Well, Gia was okay, but like I don't think.
Oh, not
that,
Gia. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say,
thinking-
what planet are you on?
Planet Jocelyn.
Which is why she needs her notes.
Jocelyn.
Planet
Again,
Jocelyn.
Gia, bye, girl. She's the cross-eyed girl.
They brought it up.
They brought up the wonky eye, and you
Yes.
can see it too, where it's just like this one is like this, but this one is like.
I didn't feel so bad when I brought.
Oh, I shouldn't do that. I might move my contact.
You
I'm
okay
good.
over there?
Yep.
Okay, good. So the 2 teams were split up, and we got the Drag Race from Hell.
Well, did
Drag
anybody
Me to Hell.
disagree that Darian didn't deserve it? I had hands down. She caught my attention. I thought it was entertaining. I thought she totally deserved the win.
Oh yeah.
No, I thought she deserved
just like-
it. But I agree.
Performance-wise, yes. Best in drag, no.
Wait,
Well,
no, I get that.
But that wasn't about. It was about that. I thought this challenge was about the performance. So.
I think so, but I kind of want to incorporate both performance and best in drag because I mean we can talk about it now, but since we're jumping around, I think Tony made before we went on air brought up the fact that if this was this best in like this is the best drag that you
RuPaul's
have.
Drag Race season 6 is canceled if this is the best drag that they had.
Because I was expecting like show me like wow me.
Are we jumping ahead? So are we talking about best in drag?
Yes.
Yet? Okay, so who's your favorite?
My favorite? Oh.
Wait, I don't understand why you guys feel this way because I loved like all of their outfits on the runway.
Yes.
I loved every single one of them.
You loved every single everything that came down that runway.
Every single one.
See,
Jackie was watching this in non-HD TV
with no sound, obviously.
Clearly.
Not that you need it, but I'm looking at my notes and I can't go down. I don't have a clear favorite.
There wasn't. I feel like there wasn't anyone that wowed. That was like, but there were some standouts. I thought Bianca Del Rio's Ode to Hollywood was very nice and tailored, and it looked really good on her.
It was simple though.
But it was simple.
It was above average, but not special.
But it looked great. Courtney Act, although I didn't
That's what she should have worn last
didn't
week.
understand this part of the. Now, I'm not too familiar with geography and the flags and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know what this little part was, but I thought she looked good.
No ass, though.
Well, she can't have the. She has
For some reason,
case of no ass at all.
I'm not big with the
Cushions.
flag on
Something.
dresses thing. I'm not a fan on it. So
Continue.
I thought that I loved April because
The
I
concept was
liked the rain and then
April
she
showers.
pierced
Yeah,
through,
that was
and it
cool.
was very like if a drag queen was going out in the rain, that's what she would wear. Very
This is
like
true.
dolled, just extreme. Like you look at her like, girl, it's raining.
she put effort into it.
Yes,
But I
There was
also
a lot of
think
effort to it.
we have to remember that this is only for them the second challenge. So
this is RuPaul's Drag Race season.
I know,
6.
but here's the thing: it's like any sort of television. You want to have a build up. You don't want to have show stopping. It makes everything.
But this
worth
is Drag
nothing.
Olympics. You got to come out here and hit it every time.
like, okay, so the ones that we mentioned, they were okay, and then you had like Jocelyn who came out with just a simple gold dress. Who
LeMay.
It was just like
boring.
and who else? Like Darian Lake, her dress was very simple, and the whole cape thing just didn't work.
I
for
don't
me.
mind a 1970s disco. I'm on roller skates cape, but not with that fringe dress.
Right.
I didn't have a problem with any of it.
That's your problem.
And I loved how her cape went like that.
And then you take
was a gimmick. It
Ben De La Creme, who had the very simple like Playboy bunny outfit. It was just
My favorite, and I
Oh,
didn't
she
want
was
to
the
like
one
her.
I didn't like.
I
said
liked.
her outfit was
I did
meh.
like Laganja's the best. Sorry.
I did like.
I
Laganja.
loved it. Yeah.
The concept of
was
the
it the
butterflies.
butterflies?
It was the
Yeah.
butterfly. That was very, like they said, very Downton Abbey, Madame
Maggie
Butterfly.
Smith. Yeah.
Young Maggie Smith.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
on the nose.
It fit all
That
together.
That's drag to me. Like
Like she
this-
came with it. Like she came
Right.
to compete with that for me.
Yes.
Well, I still think that
Everybody
I thought
was
everybody
good.
looked good. Like I thought that their faces were well made up. Like we don't have this problem except for Vivacious.
Did you notice the
where
difference?
their faces are a mess?
Bianca's eyes got a little bit
Yeah.
lighter.
Yeah.
And like Vivacious was the only one to
And
me
that
whose
goes-
makeup was a mess.
And that goes to like her taking the criticism and doing it. And then the two that had I call them cat suits, Gia, which I was like,
Ugh.
That was very old at Nicki Minaj.
I get it, but Gia's not my thing.
I like Gia, but I didn't like that outfit. It just
She's
didn't
my
work
least
for me.
favorite, and
don't
I
like
understand
her.
that she's good. She's just not my kind of good.
She's trying to serve tuna on a platter every time she does something.
I don't even think. Okay, and you all know I love fish queens. I don't even think
Fresh
she's that
tilapia.
fish anymore. I'm sorry.
What do you think?
You're hating on her wonky eye, and
No, I'm hating on the fact that the producer had to tell her. Maybe it was due to the fact that it was referring to the 60s. That's why it was black. and white.
No, that's not why.
There's
No.
that long ass pause too.
You know why there was a long pause? Because she knew
the
that the
hamster
producer was right,
Yeah.
but she was like, no, that's not it.
She didn't want to rip on the producer.
And then, go ahead.
I do have to hand it to Milk.
I like Milk.
Yes.
I love the fact that
Pinocchio Ho.
she's just she's one of the queens that we are going to pay attention to because you never know what you're going to get.
Yes.
She's I'm going to go with this feeling and just go with it.
Yep.
And she takes it, she owns it. You know, and she always adds something. Last week it was the beard, this week it was the nose, but to me it works.
This week it
Oh,
worked.
yeah.
It works.
And I
The
thought
beard
and I
does
like
work
the
too.
little
This week it
the chopped up.
Yeah.
I like
wig.
that.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
She's just given a different form
The Dieter
of
Ritz
drag.
wig.
God.
The Dieter Ritz wig.
No, not Dieter Ritz. And then we have Vivacious, who I call Vivi.
Okay, that outfit in Beetlejuice, when she goes to reach into the model house and she tries to pick up Beetlejuice and he pops out, that's what it looked like to me.
Obviously, you don't. Did you get the reference right?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was
You two
very.
look like what?
I got it.
Oh no, I got it.
That's
I thought
exactly
it
what it
was
looked
very.
like. I was like,
I'm
oh, it's
I'm
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice right now.
Yes,
Yeah, but you're like hot Beetlejuice.
Thanks.
I thought it was very King Koopa from Super Mario Bros.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
That's what it was giving me. But I liked it. I liked it.
Okay.
I liked that it was different, but her makeup was killing
And
me.
that whole head thing reminded me of Shanji when she made her little cone thing in that one season, season 3, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And that's the episode she got eliminated. So it was kind of like, okay.
I get Club Kid. I do. I totally get it.
Do you?
I believe that Club Kid category falls under the umbrella of drag.
Did you get Club Kid though? Are you okay?
We're gonna move on.
Okay. Well, speak your mind.
No, I mean, I think for me, drag again is crossing gender to a certain extent. Drag, may encompass Club Kid, but that was boring. I don't care what generation you're trying to represent. Something has to evolve out of that, King Koopa.
I agree with that. I do agree that something has to evolve out of it.
But
because if you've been around for that long, you have to learn something.
Or at least start me makeup, like beat your mug or something. That was horrible. Her makeup sucked.
Okay.
Tell me I'm lying. Comment, Pinky. Come on now.
Okay, being Tony, I thought one with makeup, and I've heard this from previous queens, being on the show and painting a certain way, you're now painting for TV.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So that's a whole different other type of painting skill that you don't realize until you watch the episode back and you're like, oh, I look a hot mess. Yeah. When I'm used to looking very gorgeous because I'm used to painting for the stage. So Vivacious's makeup, but the whole Club Kid thing, I feel like she is representing a type of drag that we haven't normally seen because she's right. Mm-hmm. This generation is all about being fishy, being real girl, but back in her day, it was very much that. Mm-hmm. So I feel very honored and privileged that she's willing to share that form of drag, and it's now opened my eyes to a different form of drag where I kind of feel like that's what drag is. It's this very extravagant, very like avant-garde, like you thought of something and you're putting it together. Like she thought of that and she put it together.
I get it.
Okay, here's my...
go ahead.
I'm going to make...
I mean, avant-garde may be the wrong thing, but I think anything that's just out of the box is avant-garde.
It's different.
Watch somebody down in the comment box.
One
give
thing
you the definition of avant-garde.
And that's why we appreciate your comments.
Yes, we do. We learn things from them.
Talk your mind, Jackie.
So, so to tackle your first comment, your makeup comment, I'm gonna use your argument against you. Because you always
at this
say,
moment, I wish I had a straw so I can be like them. Like
you always say this is Drag Race season 6. Now, if you know you're going to be on TV and you know that you are not normally a TV performer, maybe you should film your makeup before you go on the show a couple times, even when you send in your audition tape. Look at it. Does your makeup look messed up? Maybe you should fix it for TV.
But I have a question, and I mean, I don't know that much. Yeah, I'm gonna let Tony sit with that because I know he's got a rebuttal. But I think this whole makeup issue, and I'm no expert in makeup by any means, but
neither am I really.
I see that this is a trend that's happening to the darker skin queens.
You can say it.
Black queens. So I think because we saw the same thing with Latrice, Coco last.
Trinity didn't have that problem.
I think Trinity's
she's borderline. Sorry, she is.
She's Beyonce,
but I don't think she's
not understanding filtering.
But I don't think she is bad as
Monica Beverly Hills didn't have that problem.
Oh no, she did in the beginning. She did. She got better.
She got better.
She did in the beginning.
But she didn't.
They don't understand filtering. Black skin, I get it.
She didn't stick around longer. Yeah, and I think that's maybe why it's not coming.
But let's be honest. Vivacious, this episode looked like she got washed out by clay.
Yes.
It was like muddy, dried white clay. It just was really bad. And for the rest of the queen, I get it's a competition, but nobody even made a comment to her whatsoever. It was horrible. Makeup was bad. I mean, we all watch Paris is Burning, right?
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully.
Okay.
And if
I mean, that's her generation she's talking about.
Yeah.
So I get it. But at some point, I mean, you call yourself a drag queen. You're not saying you didn't. She actually said she's also a drag queen besides the Club Kid thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm. But you
drag
can
queen,
do. There's
not
also,
drag king.
There's also a way of doing like. To compliment her outfit, which I did. I did think her outfit was really cool and bringing something new in that was different, even though it was like Beetlejuice for me or King Koopa for you. I still think there was that element of, this is something different. This is something I haven't seen before. But if you're going to do that to your face, don't just look like you dumped your face in a powder of makeup. I mean, you can do makeup to make it look still like something different and something cool and something avant-garde or something that's just different without, I think I said different like 45 times.
That's okay.
I'm really sorry.
Don't make a comment about it.
I know. They'd be like, Jackie, that hoe is so dumb.
Why you gotta hold to yourself? That's awful.
I'm just hating on myself for other people too. Woo! But there's a way to do that and to make your makeup look different. You can make your makeup all catching fire without having to make it look like it's just a mess. There's a difference between being artful and different and just not being on point.
Right. Tony, do you have a rebuttal to her? I'm just waiting.
It's done simmered.
Has it brewed in yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna let it simmer. I'll get back to you.
So let's backtrack to, well, it's not really backtracking to the actual video presentation.
That was the funnest part for me.
I enjoyed it. Well,
I did.
I liked the presentation.
No, I did.
Oh, okay. We agree. We all agree.
Yes, we do.
Let's break down the first one. Team Milk.
Yes.
It was good. I thought Bianca and Courtney Act or Courtney Act were great.
Yep.
I thought they were
great energy.
I love that Trinity was like, these bitches running through these lines like they've done it before.
Yeah.
Or whatever
Speaking
she said.
of,
I thought that was funny.
The whole Trinity thing, like, you want me to be black, right?
Okay. And I kind of agree. I'm on the fence on that too. It's like the whole concept was 60s, so why would a ghetto black girl be in the 60s?
That is a good point. Yeah.
With that said, Bianca was only helping her to play to her strength.
Exactly.
Especially for somebody who doesn't know how to act.
Right.
Exactly. So
Come on, girl.
It was kind of... But when she said, "What, you want me to be black?" I lost my shit.
She was like,
because I've been accused. I've been in situations where someone told me, "Why don't you be a little bit more black?" I'm like, how? Please define that. I mean,
for
what do you want me
acting,
to
that's
do?
something like
No,
it's something different when you're trying to create a character.
This
In
was
normal
normal.
life, you just slap them upside the head and say, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
I was actually waiting for the N word, but go ahead.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Nitrous?
Not 12 years a slave. I agree with that. They were just trying to. She said she wanted tips. She said, I'm the acting virgin. You have any tips? Throw them my way. And she tried something that was not working. They said, well, girl, just play a black girl, and that actually would have been hilarious had she just committed to it.
Mm-hmm. I think that maybe it was the whole comment itself that kind of was like, what, really?
Yeah.
You want me to play black?
Let's talk about the fact that Tony was a little confused by her teeth.
I was confused about her teeth.
I mean, I hear shouting. I hear what in the background.
There's construction going on.
Okay.
Oh, her flippers?
Okay, so
I wasn't confused. I didn't notice that she wore flippers.
I didn't notice either until okay.
On Logo TV, somebody ripped her in their comments like she uses flippers.
So she has fake teeth in her drag persona.
Wait, now who are we talking about?
Trinity.
I didn't realize that. I mean, I know Milk does, obviously.
Go back and watch.
I have to go back and watch
it. She uses that gap because I don't think she really.
Oh, she painted that.
Or she has that little thing that they stick into. And I'm not the one to rip on someone's teeth because obviously I have bling bling. But
yeah, I got big horse teeth, so I can't say anything.
Trinity definitely should use the teeth.
You always do.
It's like funny because 2 weeks ago we were talking about our wonky eyes. Now we're talking about our fucked up teeth. It just gets better and better.
I've already been through the braces phase.
Watch us on YouTube, you guys, so you can see how wonky-eyed and how buck-toothed we are.
Exactly.
Steven, did you handle that?
What are we handling?
There was shouting outside.
Okay.
People are really enjoying tonight's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's just say that.
Steve handled it like a boss. And, may I add, he's the only person who would wear my St. Patrick's Day bling. Just saying.
Because it ain't St. Patrick's Day today.
The whole cry for Jackie thing clearly hasn't worked.
So back on to the challenge, the video. Where did we leave off? We left off with Trinity.
Yes.
Which the actual final project, I thought she did well.
I thought it was
yeah.
But here's the thing: is I think RuPaul took when she was given the critiques on the other team. We'll get to that later. I think she's taking what they did actually while shooting into consideration.
They
not
should.
just the final project.
Right.
They should though, because it's. I mean, there's something to be said. There's tons of actors in just real life that go to their job and have their lines half-ass memorized, and the poor editor has to cut up and paste until they get to a scene. Now, you can do the same thing here. The scene's really short. If the person didn't memorize their lines or didn't come prepared, you know, you have to keep working and working and working until it gets there. Now, if you want to be a professional and you want to be professional in drag, you're going to have to be doing commercials and things like that. You don't want to work with someone who's not going to come prepared. And I think that was their point to it. I mean, not to jump ahead, but that was their point to Adore.
But I think this team, Team Milk, they were as prepared as you can possibly get, except for maybe Trinity, who we all know wasn't the actor of the group.
Right.
This is where Jocelyn, for me, was like, oh, she actually is talented.
Oh, I thought she was great. And that was like, that for me, too, was a turning point. Yeah.
I think she nailed it. And
I think she surprised
I think she surprised herself. I just think she's just did to me. But Darianne was in the box, which I loved it.
I loved it.
I thought it was great.
Well, you know what I like? I like the fact that when they were passing out that role and everyone was crickets about it, and she got it, she was like, all right. She was like, nobody wanted it, but I can do something with it.
But I think they really were trying to push her into it because not to. Okay, so she's a bigger girl and she's.
She was
be
happy she
hating
got
on the
picked.
big girl.
It's not like high school.
But you know what? I think it worked to their advantage as a group because she sold it, and
She
then,
definitely sold it.
And then Milk being the mom was just as good. So overall, Team Milk, they knocked it out of the park. Whereas Team Adore.
Here's the thing about Team Adore, is that there was so much potential for it to be better than what it was.
Yes.
I think that the casting of it was great.
I disagree with you on that.
Plus or minus if Vivacious was the butch, you know, whatever.
They should have brought on Ornacia.
Duh.
Her in the box.
But I feel like the final product, taking out what it took to get there and the unpreparedness, I think the final product was still actually pretty funny. I do wish that they were even more prepared because it would have been even funnier. And for Gia not knowing 80s stuff, as soon as she got that note from Michelle to be like, duh, it's my cell phone, like, where was that? Because she could have sold that so easily.
Boo.
So it was great, but it was kind of disappointing at the same time because looking at what it took to get there, you just wish that they were more prepared.
Well, I mean, looking at the earlier part of the episode, obviously April didn't have a clue as to what she wanted to do. And then Laganja was, there wasn't much for her to, I didn't really see much from her, so I can't say whether it was good or bad. It was just there.
But she didn't need to go like, she looked like a SpongeBob character with that mustache situation. Or mouth situation.
Laganja?
April.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she's just naturally hairy, as they said.
She is. You know why? Because in the main stage,
you can see it on her arms.
You saw her?
Yes. I saw that too. She was hairy.
That.
Oh, I noticed it. That's making a lot of noise over there.
Static electricity.
She was hairy.
So... And then Adore, the team captain, wasn't prepared. She
could have did so well in that.
I will have to say though, the final product, she was fine. I thought she was hilarious.
But Ru had a point that it was you're being judged on the amount of charisma you have right now, which is a lot. Like she just naturally has a lot of charisma. But the fact that you came not prepared with that charisma doesn't help.
You got to do the work.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to do the work. And knowing Adore, I've always kind of felt that about Adore. Like, I think Adore is extremely talented and has so much potential, but you have to keep working and you have to put in the work
instead of relying on
pretty
whatever
and then
voice.
And then we have De La Creme, the mom, who
she was great.
That's
what I meant when I said earlier about
Did
Gia.
anyone else notice though?
Great.
From the time she got to set, she was already in character.
Oh yeah,
she's always in character to me. I don't really catch a.
No.
I don't get a
But I
real
wonder-
sense of who Ben is.
I was just about to say, I wonder if that's gonna hurt her in the long run, because we remember with the whole Chad Michaels during her season, they were like, she's always polished. We don't really get to, I think it was Michelle who said, we don't know who Chad is. I think that's gonna hinder Ben in the long run, because I think she's very talented. I think she's very funny.
Then she come back and win All Stars.
Well,
I think we
that
see
was all the setup.
I think we see Ben during the interviews. That is Ben de la Creme.
Yeah, I can see that.
They
But-
don't have enough interview. Like, she doesn't get a lot of cutaways thus far. Like, she hasn't gotten a lot of cutaways.
Right.
Because I think she's more out of all of them low key.
Yeah.
Like she's not Bianca or
She's gonna-
Gia,
but
who's
it's gonna-
always,
I feel it's gonna be
smart.
like Jinx. Like when they first showed her, like she was kind of like under the radar and asleep, and then as the competition went on, you were like, "Whoa, who
Right.
came from behind?"
Like I want her to wow me though. I'm waiting for her to wow me.
I think she will.
And then we have Vivi in the head in the box.
Ooh, when that box got uncovered and there were crickets and silence.
They edited that, though. That's crazy. That's a long
but
pause.
I even thought about it. I was like, how else would you have edited? Like, if that was her best take out of all the takes that they did, how else are you?
No, but you could have edited some of that pause out. You know,
No,
like,
when they revealed the box and it was just her head, how unless you cut away from that, maybe they didn't have anything to cut away from. Maybe they was just stuck with her. I mean, if they had a reaction shot from a door,
well, good riddance.
Oh my.
Oh lordy.
Who cares what they cut away
Anyway,
from?
what I was saying is that if that was their best take of her, and because I watched it obviously three times, I've already told you, I laughed each time because it was just funny because you can see her thinking about her lines, and it was such a train wreck. I loved it. It was funny.
Well, I didn't know who was going home until Jackie told me before I watched that.
I'm sorry, I thought you had watched
Well,
it.
had you watched Untucked before the episode like Jackie used to do?
I don't do it now because we don't screen it here, which is what I used to do. Is I would watch Untucked, then come screen the episode. It made sense in my head.
And why did that make sense in your head, Jackie?
Because I didn't have time to watch Untucked after the episode because we had to tape.
Oh, Linda Blair.
So.
I like her, but I really like
Lena
Cersei
Headey.
Lannister.
Lena Headey.
For those
of you who don't watch Game of Thrones,
I
which I love that shit.
Cersei
I just know her.
Lannister.
I don't even know her name. I just know her as that.
Queen Cersei.
No, I know her as Dinklage's sister.
Oh.
That's the only way I can.
I don't know.
Well, obviously.
Well, she plays a character who sleeps with her brother. If you want to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's nasty.
It's
that's
what they did back then.
But her brother's really attractive. Not
So-
that means that you should
where's
be
she going
doing
with that? That's justification.
So those were the guest judges. RuPaul's dress
on that.
on the runway. I liked her dress.
I liked it because
Yes.
weren't we just talking last
like
week
it?
about having her get a different wig though?
Yes.
We
The
were
gray
talking-
wig with the black roots.
Yes,
I
it was
love
perfect for the
Wait,
episode.
hold on.
It was like an
Let's
Elvira.
hear it. Let's hear it.
Go ahead, Tony.
Why didn't you like it?
It's not that I didn't like it.
Take notes, commenters.
I just was kind of like,
Why?
I don't know. It was something about, I don't know. it was like
Wait,
the
are we talking
black-
the wig or the dress or everything?
I'm giving you a whole totality of the look. Face, great. I noticed she had contacts in because her eyes were very brown. Face, Barbie doll. I wasn't sure about the black root into the blonde.
I loved it. And it wasn't blonde. It was more gray.
I felt like it was like a Elvira
Elvira.
kind of
Maybe
thing.
I don't. I just.
I'm not mad at Tony hating it.
okay.
What I'm mad at is that we're trying to get Tony to actually make a stand sometimes and say some bad things because he always tries to be diplomatic. So I'm just trying to see
I'm
where he's
not.
gonna go with
First
that.
of all, if something is bad, I'm gonna say that it's bad.
Lies.
But
Lies.
I just the whole time I watched her come out, I just like with each step I was like, oh.
But why? Why were you like that? Why?
I don't know. It's just something about how everything came together. I wasn't sure if I don't think I loved it like I normally do. I didn't necessarily like hate it, but it was kind of like meh.
I feel like Cam is ready to
said something.
tip him off the
Man.
fence
He
right
says,
now.
no, I'm down. I'm good.
No.
Why do you
like
always
it.
want me to say something bad?
Because I know he's bullshit.
I'm not. Let me tell y'all something. I speaks truth. If I liked it, I liked it. If I didn't, I'll tell you. Just like I
For
did.
those of you that don't know, Tony is very politically correct because he
I'm not
works with these
politically
queens
correct.
at Mickey's nightclub. So let's just be
Monday
plug
night at
real quick.
10:30 p.m.
He works with them, so I get it. He has to kind of watch his tongue sometimes. So, but comment on that.
I don't have to watch my tongue. I'm just the type of person that sees the good in everything.
Okay, so on that note, we come to almost the end of the episode where...
Wait, can I say something?
I guess so.
Else, I'm sorry. We didn't talk about...
There's that sexual tension there that we were commenting on earlier.
We didn't talk about Trinity's main stage look. Oh. Because the first thing I thought was...
Total Atlanta pageant.
Atlanta pageant.
You
That
can
was
see
that.
her chicken cutlet.
Well, that was the second. That was the second thought. But my first thought was Angela Bassett. What's love got to do with it? Arms.
Yeah.
Did anyone else
true,
think
though.
that?
No,
Yeah.
I just
No,
couldn't
but I can
focus
see
on
it
that
now.
under whatever she had underneath
Her
the
chicken
bone.
cutlet
Yeah.
was
It's called
showing.
boning, right?
I
Bone,
just-
whatever.
But then she also mentioned in the Untucked that she came prepared with a ponytail underneath her.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
ready. She had a gimmick underneath.
Yeah. I feel like
Good girl.
That's
Good
something,
girl.
but
That's
say
some drag
don't,
shit,
but
girl.
Don't
tell,
say it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell no one.
Because then you can't use it later.
Exactly, because then we're like, oh, she already had that.
You
plan.
can't pull your wig off and show another wig.
Oh, by
What
the
I think-
way.
No, you can pull your wig off as long as you have another wig
Yes.
underneath.
I think
Yes.
she was trying to come back because I think she realized that maybe Bianca was actually trying to help her in the beginning with all of that. So she was trying to save face and say, I was trying to be prepared this time and not be that young girl that, thought she knew it all.
Right.
I did like that she was very humbled at she was kind of like, guys, I know that I messed up during the filming. RuPaul actually had to get out of her seat to show me. Thank God we won. I feel like
crying. Don't cry.
And I've said this. I can't remember about who last season or 2 seasons ago. I feel like when they are in that situation on the main stage, they're going for cool points, and I think that's not that necessarily to
Fifi.
Yeah, I don't think that she necessarily was, but I kind of hate. I cringe when they're like start crying and like, oh well, I just wanted to
I didn't want to make you
Yeah,
sad.
I didn't want to lose the challenge, but they ended up winning, and that was no surprise that they won.
Yeah.
Team Milk, and then Team Adore lost.
Yeah.
And no
How does
surprise
anybody
there.
feel about? Don't you think that Adore should have taken some responsibility?
Yes,
That's a huge
now
thing
here
now,
and
yeah.
here's my thing.
Right.
I think Ru got it all wrong. I think Adore should have been in the bottom too, regardless, because this was a team effort to a certain extent. I mean, you can't put all the blame on April because I think Linda Blair said it. Should Adore take credit or
Yeah.
responsibility for casting the way that she did?
That's
I-
all
but
over
I
the
think
internet
no
right
matter
now.
no matter how she casted the project, it was still April's job and everyone else's job to do what you're supposed to do.
But Tony, if I'm given a script and it says 35-year-old black man, why would I give it to Jackie, knowing that she's not nowhere in anything close to a 35-year-old black man? Only if I'm calculating and only setting the up to fail.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But-
And she
but
didn't
if
help
that-
April out. April did say she was unsure of what was going on.
Right. And even on set, Michelle, she was like, am I not boy enough? And Michelle was like, it's your choice. But if you were to give that role to Jackie and Jackie's like, WTF, what am I supposed to do with that? Now it's your responsibility to turn it out. You got handed
Or-
the bad card, and now you have to turn it out, regardless.
But even during when she was handing out the projects, I think April was like, I don't want to be the I don't want the
butch part, and then cut to being. Well, now guess what you have to do? You have to channel some butch lesbian that you know from Puerto Rico and do it.
I see both sides. What I'm gonna say though is, if you know that your group is on the possible chopping block, who cares about the winning or losing? If I can get my team on the non-chopping block, I'm gonna do whatever's necessary, which means I'm gonna pick the butchest one, which was Vivacious. Sorry, girl.
Exactly.
That makes sense, though.
But
in a team effort, you
but
want
that
the team
didn't
to win.
happen.
Yeah,
then
I know, I get it.
And then
So-
on top of that, Adore still went in unprepared or whatever, and still turned her role out in the end. So,
But I think her role was kind of catered to her personality, whereas the other
Ditzy.
ones were. Yeah.
But again, the only reason I brought it up is because clearly Vivacious and April were the weakest of their group and didn't fit into the roles that they were given. So was it Adore's job to know the roles they should be in? Maybe not. But I'm just.
I think she should have investigated a little bit more.
Okay. Sorry,
But
I just had to bring
again,
it up. Comment.
I think Ru got it wrong with the bottom two. So April and Vivacious were in the bottom two. They
Comment on
lip-synced.
that. Comment if you think that Adore should have been in the bottom instead of April. Because
A lot of
definitely
people- a lot of
Vivacious
people
should have
already
been
did.
Yeah.
There's people
And
ripping
at
on
this
the
point,
door.
it really doesn't matter because Vivacious went home. She went
I
home.
kind of think she should have stayed.
That's because he tried on Arnacia.
That's not why.
He did.
Okay.
Why? Why do you
okay.
think so?
Let's look at the lip sync. It was very close.
I did not. I felt like April won that lip sync.
In my opinion, it was close.
I think the shots of Vivacious, I don't think she had the words right. So
Yeah.
it didn't look like
That's
she
a
didn't
big
have the
headwind.
words.
That's the only reason. Because I get
So-
she was serving energy.
Yeah.
And she was, stomping. I get it. But her words were jacked.
Right. And they
Maybe-
by the way, they lip synced to Shake It Up by Selena Gomez, which I never heard the song. But okay.
We knew it.
It's good.
But I guess what I was more captivated by was just Vivacious the energy on stage that she had. I felt like she commanded it. She owned it. She worked it out. Her and April did. And I actually thought that.
Continue.
I actually thought that that Vivacious was actually going to stay.
Okay, so there you have it. That's the end of the episode. We are running short of time.
Wait, we were given assignment.
We'll do that next week. Unless you have your word of the day.
Oh, word of the day is stir. So Bianca is a stir queen. She tends to go in and she'll shit talk. She's not just an insult comment, but what she does is she drops verbal landmines. So when somebody's stirring, instead of saying, see, this is the thing about young queens. They think they have to say the whole sentence. You don't have to say stirring the pot. All you have to say, ooh, girl, she's stirring. Stir.
Hashtag
Ladle
stir.
award. Ladle, stir the pot kind of thing, You shouldn't have to make reference to the whole sentence. If you're a good ripper, you can just say one word and you know exactly what we're talking about.
But then you have people like me who like stir what? What am I stirring? Like,
and that's why she fails all the time.
But see, I don't think Bianca. I think Bianca is just one of those people that she's just like that. Whenever you say something, she's gonna have something smart to say, and you take it with a grain of salt.
I like Bianca. Actually,
I like Bianca too. I
do.
think
queens will get tired of it, though.
she's Fifi, but on a much smarter level.
Oh, yeah.
Way smarter.
Well,
We're getting
I don't
played
know
off.
Fifi.
Where can we find you, Tony?
You can find me at Lounging with Tony on all social media platforms, including my website, loungingwithtony.com.
Cameron?
At Tomakova 777.
At 123 Jackie_B on Twitter. At 123 Jackie B, all one thing on Instagram.
And I'm at KAYSEEH25 I'm back on Twitter. Yay.
Find his
And
Twitter through
Instagram.
mine.
And for you viewers at home, I want you to come up with a top 10 of All Stars that you want to see on All Stars, and then
Some of you
maybe
have, and we love it.
If we have time at the end of the rest of the season, at the end of the episode, we'll count them
draw one out the
down,
hat.
and that'll be fun. Thanks for watching. Again, iTunes us, YouTube us, and watch us live next week. AfterBuzzTV.com.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.